Fez.
Ron and Fez! Hey!
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. I could have used a little more cowbell. I gotta have more cowbell.
We should probably give him more cowbell.
Buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show. My name is Ron, and I'd like to introduce you to my best pal, Fez.
Hello, it's good to be here. I'm sure you're all very nice. Ron's told me a lot about you.
Don't push. Just let them come to you. You don't have to push. You've got a nice personality.
I feel like I should play the piano or something to fit in with this group of your friends.
I know them, Fezzy. If you come out there and you're just too bubbly, they'll eat you up. You just want to ease into this tonight. I got some bad news for you, Fez. I know I promised you a haircut tonight. Fred the Hair Genius just called. He did not realize it, but tonight is the Cyndi Lauper concert, and girls just want to have fun.
Oh, man.
So he'll be in tomorrow night.
I've been looking all day forward to a Fred haircut.
I know you have. And you were thinking about going really short this time, you said.
Yeah, just real short. Maybe I should just give up the fight at this point.
Shave it down?
Yeah, and just do the whole Corbin Burnson thing where it's like, no, I'm not bald. I like my hair this way.
I'm not bald. I'm an astronaut.
My hair's got the right stuff.
And then you're thinking about major beard this year.
Yeah, this is I cheer on my Buccaneers, and this year, like last year, I wore a Buccaneer shirt every day for a year and 10 days.
Just ridiculous.
This year, I'm thinking this, a nice big buck beard, where starting preseason starts August 9th with the Redskins-Broncos Hall of Fame game.
Right.
Starting the beard then, and just letting it grow until Super Bowl, just to see how long the baby can get.
How big has your beard ever gotten before?
I've had a pretty long goatee before.
Yeah.
I don't think as long as El Jefe's, just to give you a point of reference.
Right. But you're going to stay full beard.
Yeah, I would say full beard. I'm kind of thinking of a Rupert Survivor look. And it's not laziness. It's not because I just like to lay around during football season and do nothing but drink and gamble.
I think it's a little more obsessive is how you get, like, we were all a little weirded out by the year of the same shirt every day.
But I feel I need to do something for the team.
Yeah, I know. Well, that should help, Magic Thinker. I don't know, Fez. I'm just going to back you up as I normally do. So this is going to be Corbin Burnson meets Rupert from Survivor. That's your new look.
By Christmas time, you'll think you'd be sitting here next to Santa Claus.
I'm just worried you're going to end up on one of those fashion don't shows that they show on E! Here's a real fashion don't.
I don't need the fashion police coming after me. Saddam Hussein's daughter, Ragdad, says her father needs an American attorney to get through this trial. But please, not one that's Jewish, saying she can't deal with Jews.
Well, good luck finding that, honey. I looked around myself.
Here's your lawyer, Mr. Dershowitz.
Yeah. It's not going to happen. You want a good lawyer, or do you want a non-Jew?
Or do you want a Gentile? You've got to make up your mind.
Look, you think Fez and I would be working if we refused to work with Jews? Forget about it.
Sure, Ragdad, we all have the same sentiments, but we put things behind us and we do what's best.
Believe me, we're all working in Radio Palestine. We'd all just like to talk to one Christian once about our career. It doesn't happen that way. This is reality.
She's so funny, and she's like, you know what, and my father has done the right thing, and he should still be the president of Iraq, and she just doesn't stop as she's asking for help.
She's like Gotti's daughter. It's the same way. They see a whole different side than we do.
She's growing up Hussein.
Yeah. Growing Up Hussein. Fezzy, did you get the chance to see the Growing Up Gotti show, which is Gotti's daughter? I can't think of her first name.
Victoria.
Right. Thank you very much, Rain Man. I appreciate that. You're always there with the facts no one really cares about. It's her and these three little Goomba teenagers.
Carmen, Frankie, and Johnny.
All right, now, that's just too odd. Did you get a chance to see the show?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, I watched back-to-back episodes, and I don't remember one fact. And this is what you read, TV Guide. He doesn't read except for TV Guide. This show is so bad that it may almost be fairly good in an Anna Nicole Simpson way.
I was going to say, is it like Anna Nicole? Because that's what it looks like with 2 extra kids.
Yeah, it is. It's like, who could live this way? I mean, the house is probably very expensive, but it looks like an Italian mausoleum. You're like, how? It should be Growing Up Gaudi is what it should be called, because it looks like they live in a funeral parlor, and the 3 kids basically might be 1987 Beastie Boys. They're like the really young Beastie Boys, just yelling at their mom, and there's just pictures of John Gotti, the Godfather, all over the house.
Oh, that's nice.
Like Hussein keeps pictures in his house, and then she'll just look at it. Papa, I know if you were here, none of this would happen. I know these kids with no respect.
Is it like the Osbournes? Are they that crazy?
They're ridiculous. They don't have Osbourne money, but they just, it's like, you know, you went to Long Island and you ran into some bad Italian kids.
These kids, Carmine, Frankie, and Johnny, these are going to be like the Hilton Boys. These kids are going to be heartthrobs. Mark my words. I'll
bet against it. I'm willing to bet against that because one of them looks exactly like John Gotti.
Oh, dapper?
Yeah, they're all more hip-hop. But anyway, that's the new show. I think that's on A&E.
Now, President Bush said today, knowing what he knows today, he still would have invaded Iraq.
This is the first thing I really believe that's come out of his mouth. I believe him 100% when he says that.
I don't see where he's saying this as a good thing.
Yeah.
If he knew then what he knows now, that there weren't weapons of mass destruction, that we'd never find them.
Yeah.
You know, that he didn't pose an imminent threat, I still would invade a sovereign nation.
He'd still do it anyway.
And to me, it just proves that point, like brought up in the Woodward book of, this administration was intent, if we get in the White House, we're going through Iraq.
On our way to Iran. Because if you listen to any of the right-wing shows, it's like they've all been handed the same memo. If you hear any Rush, any Bill O'Reilly, suddenly they're all worried about Iran, one after another. And you're like, how are you guys coming up with this? What meaning are the rest of us missing where it says it's time to start talking about the danger Iran presents to the world?
Iran hasn't changed at all. It's us that changes.
The problem is, Fez, is they're all Muslims, and they won't get behind our Christian God.
They're all going to end up needing Jewish lawyers by the time this is done.
And believe me, later hate the Jews. This time, take the lawyer. Do the smart thing. Now, we got a guy coming up on the show tonight that Dubs booked for us, who's done a book called Bush on the Couch. He's a psychiatrist, Fez, and basically he analyzes President Bush. What's his name, Dubs? What's this guy's name?
It's Justin A. Frank.
Justin A. Frank, Fezzy.
That's your name, J-Dubs.
He doesn't want anybody.
It is Justin A. Frank.
He doesn't want anybody to find out his real name is Justin. He's J-Dubs. So that should be fun, Fuzzy. That's coming up a little later on in the show tonight. And we'll see if maybe we can't Baker Act the president.
All we need is 3 signatures.
I'm down.
I'm in. And we get Laura, and we're all set. We get Laura, one of the twins, and we can Baker Act him.
Honey, it's time for a vacation.
Vacation from my problem.
No, we didn't have the opportunity to actually do this, to read the book yet. But we will fake along.
But with this, I would still go into Iraq knowing now what I didn't know then. This is that book that 5 Minutes with the President, where the celebrities write their little essays.
Right.
If you look at that, a majority of those essays say the same thing. Admit a mistake when you make it. Just tell us you're sorry. Just say, hey, I was wrong even.
Fez, he never made a mistake in his life. He never made one mistake. He told Tim Russell that. I can't come up with anything. All right, Fez, this just got sent to us by KOP to back you up on your Radio Psychic.
Radio Psychic.
About the Gotti Boys. There's already a site called Hottie Gotti that is basically almost like a Backstreet Boys fan site with all the Gotti Boys pictures in it.
Yeah, I put that up earlier today. I didn't know they'd already had the pictures online, though. That's a good server.
You're disgusting. You make me nervous. What are the Gotti Boys' name again?
Carmen, Frankie, and Johnny. If you just want to call them the Hottie Gottis, I got no problem with that whatsoever.
I wish you'd go back to having a crush on Buzz Burbank, because this one really makes me nervous from a couple points of view.
Buzz answers email on that for me. If you have questions about the Hottie Gottis, he answers all your questions. He's like my Gotti expert. He's my Gotti guy.
All right, since you got them as the new pin-up stars of the millennium, I'm going to try to have a little radio psychic, and maybe we'll run a poll.
Radio psychic.
Which one goes to jail first? Because one of them is going to hit somebody in the head with a baseball bat.
When they get too nosy.
And I'll pick the oldest. He's got a bad attitude when he yells at his mom. You know what? If you watch these kids, Fezzy, you'll change your mind and think some kids need to be slapped by their parents.
The only thing I can hope for with the Hottie Gottis is that they learn some instruments. If they would put a band together like an Italian Hanson, that would be the total package, people.
They'd all sound like Frankie Valli. They go back to that sound. Suddenly they're the Four Aces with Al Albert singing to everybody.
Now, the Statue of Liberty reopened to the public for the first time today since the September 11th attacks. Now, you think that's going to keep people away from Lady Liberty?
I won't go back, Fuzzy. Not until they get an elevator in that place. It's 2004, and I get on an elevator. I am not walking up whatever it is, 1776 steps.
Yeah, they showed the camera crews there and looking up inside Lady Liberty's dress.
Yeah.
And just kids going, wow.
That's a little high for me.
Yeah, that's even too many steps for me to take, please.
Yeah, you got to be an Olympian to be able to climb up to the top of that.
It was nice to see everybody. I mean, because the ferry boats going out there were just filled with people going to see Lady Liberty.
Right.
And just so many people, so defiant in the cameras. Nobody's going to scare me from seeing the Statue of Liberty. And just all of a sudden, everyone got so tough about it.
Well, that's why it's open. And by the way, those terror reports are 3 years old. So stop worrying.
That I just heard about. What in the hell? That's 3-year-old information?
It's 3-year-old information. But the weird thing is that for some reason there's still machine guns out in front of these banks.
There hasn't been for 3 years.
Yeah, you would think, hey, if it's so important, we should have had it out there for 3 years.
I know I flip-flop more than John Kerry, but now I'm back with Howard Dean, where he says, you can't trust anything anybody says. How are we supposed to know what's real?
Yeah, it's a tough one because you want to be vigilant. I want to be like the little girl in Survivor who is now on The View.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Oh, God. Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who said to us today on The View, we are an army of eyes and ears.
Ew, that's gross. I don't want to see some ear army marching down the street.
I don't want to feel like I'm in the army, looking and listening to everybody, trying to come up with clues. That's why we pay our taxes. There should be somebody better than Gladys next door to be able to figure out what's going on.
Abner, Samantha's flying. Abner, I stole a Muslim. Call Homeland Security, Abner.
All right, my Gladys Travis sounded more like I was married to Archie Bunker. It sounded more like an Edith. Sorry about that. I've never tried it before, and I shan't again.
But it's fun.
I don't know. I don't like doing girl voices as much as you.
It's great. I do some on HottieGotti.com.
Let's stop talking about that serious, because I think the oldest is 16. And I remember when you got turned off by Hanson when they all started shaving.
Just hairy beasts they were.
Yeah, gangly. Ugly gangly.
The New York Daily News is reporting that women are marrying earlier than they have over the last few decades.
Yeah, I saw that too, that now they're saying women are starting to marry in their early 20s again, like it was the 1950s.
It's like they're trying to get that first marriage out of the way quick.
So you don't think that is going to work? I'll tell you, every time I go to a kid's wedding, I'm just like, yeah, right. Please. Why are we sitting here? I like live music as much as the next person, but stop acting like this thing has a shot.
I had my family in town over the weekend, and my niece was asking my sister about when did you first meet Dad, and when did you fall in love, and when did you get married, and I'm hearing all these really young ages that it didn't seem that young to me then.
Yeah, that's true.
I met him when I was 19. We got married when I was 22.
About your age, honey, so that's always...
So that's bad now.
And you can't even do that. But we lived together for a while, so... what do you think is the correct age, Fez?
I would say probably 25 is a nice age.
See, I don't think it's a bad thing for the girls to get married in their early 20s. The problem is they're marrying boys in their early 20s. That's the ones that screw it up. It's the guys.
Well, those are the gamers, the video gamers. That they can't put down the Xboxes. They go down the aisle.
When you're getting a PlayStation for your wedding present, it's never working out.
When your best man is one of the guys from Doom or whatever the kids are playing now.
What age do you think guys start to move from being boys into men now? Because it seems like it gets later every year.
I think it's very late. I would say probably 30.
That's so embarrassing.
I would say it is 30. That's really late.
And then while you're saying that, you're talking about shaving your head and growing a beard as long as you can for football season.
Should I dye it red and pewter? That'll be the next decision.
Do me a favor and please don't. No, just a regular beard. And then I won't get mad. But if you start to dial it psychedelic colors, it's just too odd.
The National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance is angry about obesity being listed as a disease, saying this is a witch hunt and fat people are the witches. Now, if obesity isn't a disease, what is it?
There's a group for fat acceptance?
Yeah, they call themselves NAFA, and they're angry at the diet industry because they're saying, like, now that Medicare has said that obesity is a disease, they think it's just the medical industry trying to trick people into getting, like, these stomach staplings.
Yeah, you know what? I know more and more people getting them, too, which seems scary to me. I like the whole angle of, learn to acceptance, like people being going, I have a fat person in my family, and they're just like us.
It's so weird that this group thinks, all right, all fat people should be happy being fat.
Take a look around. Most of us are fat, so stop acting like there's some prejudice. The people that aren't fat are on television.
This shouldn't be the NAAFA. It just should be the USA. This is our call letters, the USA.
Actually, what we should do is get fatter stars on our flag so people understand where we're coming from.
Oh, I'm sure Kirstie Alley will be speaking at some of the many, many, many luncheons they'll be having to promote their group.
I have no idea why they're saying this stuff about us.
But it's so weird that they think that, that everyone enjoys being fat and should enjoy being fat. Some of these people have real health issues.
I think the reason why they called it a disease, and this also happened with alcoholism, is so that the insurance companies would cover it. Because I don't know if you can actually come up with facts that really prove that either one of them is a disease. But if you want to get treated, it's better to have a health plan.
That's what amazes me about this group. That's someone who's against insurance coverage.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden this is a bad thing.
But I got to tell you, I'm all for the biggest seats on the airlines. I hope they pass all those laws. I have no problem at all with that.
Oh, they have to eventually.
Yeah. Hey, come out and see Fez and I a week from Thursday night.
It's August 12th, and it's going to be at Dave & Buster's in Bethesda. That's at the White Flint Mall, 3rd floor, baby, penthouse.
Come out and meet Ron and Fez. Will be there next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We'll be back in a few moments. It's the Ron and Fez Show.